Hey everyone, Shebim here and welcome back to AEW's Dynamite. Right, we've got our first episode of Dynamite since our Blood and Guts pay-per-view. Should be very interesting tonight to see where some people stand. And we have a massive set of matches set up here tonight, including the first match in the TNT Championship Tournament. And here we go then with the opening match of the evening. We've got the Revolt versus the Butcher and the Blade. Now, if you watched our Blood and Guts pay-per-view, you would have seen the debut of the Revolt as they teamed alongside Shawn Spears to take on the Butcher, the Blade and Kip Sabian. Now, unfortunately, it was a win. Well, unfortunately for the Revolt, should I say. It was a win for the Butcher, the Blade and Kip Sabian. Shawn Spears has already disowned the Revolt. Doesn't wish to use them in the future as his enforcers. They are trying to state that they believe it was Shawn Spears' fault that they lost that match, and this is their chance here to try and prove it. If they can beat the Butcher and the Blade in a single tag match, then they can prove that the issue there was Shawn Spears. Talking of Shawn Spears, we are going to see him in action here tonight. He will be in our main event facing off against Dustin Rhodes one-on-one. Of course, we saw Shawn Spears interfere in the match between Cody and Dustin at Blood and Guts. And now Dustin wants some retribution and, well, to answer some questions as well, I suppose. Cody will also be in action. He goes one-on-one against Dustin Rhodes' tag team partner, QT Marshall. And in the TNT Championship Tournament, we have got Jon Moxley going one-on-one against the undefeated EC3. So it's a cracking night for you tonight. Should be very interesting in regards to the rankings as well. There's a nice backbreaker there by Cash Wheeler on Andy Williams. I see Andy Williams as potential hardcore, and Braxton Sutter potentially as cruiserweight as well. So it's going to be a fun little setup over the next few months, I think. I think we'll try and crown our cruiserweight champion at our next pay-per-view, which will be Double or Nothing. I'm thinking of just going for a massive 8-man elimination sort of craziness match. That's the plan, I think. And also we'll crown our first TNT champion at Double or Nothing as well. It's an 8-man knockout tournament involving some of the biggest names. We have got EC3 versus Mox tonight. On Dark, our main event will be Hangman Page versus Jericho. Next Dynamite, we've got Brody Lee versus Lance Archer. Before finally on Dark, Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega. So it's going to be a cracking set of matches set up. I mean, any of those 8 men could be world champion, not just obviously TNT champion. But I feel that's what we want to do here. We've got that many big names in this roster. I feel like we want to potentially work to a point where the TNT Championship and the AEW Championship will not be too far apart, similar to the way they've got the Intercontinental and IWGP Championships in New Japan. It's essentially 2 main event belts, and I think that's going to be sort of the same thing here. There'll be opportunities for others, don't get me wrong, but with that many big names, I think it's going to be a good fight for that belt, I think. Of course, if you've not seen Blood and Guts yet, I would suggest you go back and check it out, because we probably are going to talk about several other stuff that happened. Of course, we crowned our first 3 champions. The AEW champion, Hardcore champion and tag team champion. So if you don't want to know what happened there, then of course... Oh, win for the Revolt. Nice. Dax Harwood with the pin. And the Revolt pick up the victory over the Butcher and the Blade. And that probably does signify that they could have been right, the Revolt. Of course, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood blamed Shawn Spears for the loss. Whereas Shawn Spears blamed them too. Now, in a standard tag match, unless Kip Sabian was the big difference between the 2 teams, but in a standard tag match, it's a win for the Revolt. Gives them their first win in AEW, puts them back up to 0 on the rankings, but it does put the Butcher and the Blade back down to the bottom of the tag team rankings on -2. Very interesting. Okay, we'll have to wait and see how this all pans out moving forward then. It's going to be a fun few weeks, I think. And I'm still missing a tooth, so still got a bit of a lisp going. But amazing things have happened today, by the way. You'd be very pleased to know. I have contacted a new company about supplying my internet, and they have promised me they can get me much faster than what I've currently got, which means that number one, we'll be able to get videos up on time for a change, but number two, we might even be able to start streaming as well. That'd be pretty fun. Bit of Cyber Sunday. And here we go. QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes, 1-on-1 here. Interesting things that have happened in this match then. Of course, we've seen Dustin join his tag team partner QT Marshall out to the ring. But more interestingly, we've seen Tully Blanchard joining Cody down the ring. Now that is very interesting because, of course, Tully is the manager of Shawn Spears. Maybe Shawn has decided that Cody would be a much better ally than both Butcher and Blade or the Revolt. It'd be a cracking person for him to line up alongside. QT Marshall, one loss so far from one match. I think he tagged with Brandon Cutler at Blood and Guts to face off against Wardlow and MJF. And of course, QT Marshall is good friends with Dustin, so probably trying to get some retribution for his good friend against his younger brother. Of course, Cody did beat Dustin at Blood and Guts. And QT doing incredibly well here, actually. Getting a lot more offense than I thought he would. But Cody now taking some control in this one, locking in that reverse chin lock. Tully likes that. QT back up to his feet, elbows Cody in the guts. Nice elbow right in the leg there by Cody. Now front chancery on QT Marshall. Takes him down and drops a leg drop against the arm. A boot in the spine as well. And Cody there just insulting, just turning his back on the grounded QT Marshall. Sort of signifying that he doesn't need to worry about the grounded opponent. Which he might live to regret. As QT now taking Cody up and launching him across the ring before stamping on the face of Cody. Now QT Marshall bring Cody back up and a slap right in the back of the head. And I think Cody is spending too much time trying to send messages to his older brother on the outside, Dustin, rather than paying attention to his actual opponent inside the ring. I think he's really underestimated QT Marshall here. As have I, actually. I mean, I thought this would be an easy win for old Cody. QT is really showing some great ability here tonight. He's desperate to get his first victory. Like I say, he's currently on one loss from one match, which was that match against alongside Brandon Cutler at Blood and Guts against Wardlow and MJF Dynasty. Cody fighting back and hits that. Hits that flatliner. We've seen him win matches with that in the past. But QT fighting back up to his feet. Catches Cody. Cody just flattens QT Marshall. Not really expecting Cody to have such a strength advantage there, to be honest. Gets on the back. Now looking for it. There it is. The crossroads, middle of the ring by Cody on QT Marshall. And, interesting. Dustin here up on the top. Distracting the referee and allowing QT Marshall back up on his feet. Wow. Dustin now trying to return the favour by, distracting the referee and allowing his tag team partner QT Marshall to get the advantage here. QT raining the strikes, now heading up to the top alongside Cody. And brings him back down the hard way with that superplex. Of course, don't forget, Dustin will be in action later on tonight. He'll go one-on-one against Shawn Spears, who is currently joint bottom of the rankings. Is he still? Yes. Alongside Darby Allin. QT Marshall now being distracted now by Tully. And the manager's having a real effect on this match, and Cody able to take QT up, who slides out the back, clubbing blow to the back. Of course, you've got Brandy on the outside as well. Nice elbow drop there by, of course, QT Marshall. There's the pin. But again, referee distracted, this time by Tully. It's been a real battle between these two. QT Marshall just taking Cody down by the throat, though. Is that 100% legal? Is that not a choke? Either way, Cody's back up on his feet. Clubbing blow to QT Marshall. And a second crossroads. Drops into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Cody gets the win. There's only so much Dustin could do on the outside. But QT Marshall picks up his second loss. Cody with the win, which now finally puts Cody on a plus. Of course, Cody lost his very first match in this Universe mode at All In, and his second match wasn't until Blood and Guts, where he did get the victory. But now with his second victory in this Universe mode, he moves up to +1. Of course, Cody unable to fight for the AEW Championship, but there's a lot of other stuff he can look at doing. I mean, TNT Championship would be an obvious one, but hey, if this all works out, who knows? Cody and Shawn Spears could be a very effective tag team together. Of course, talking to Shawn Spears once again, we do have that match later on tonight. Dustin Rhodes one-on-one against Shawn Spears. But next up is going to be a huge match. TNT Championship Tournament begins. First round match. Jon Moxley versus the unbeaten Ethan Carter III. This should be a very interesting match. That's coming up right now for you, as Dustin is absolutely furious on the outside at the fact that Cody has won this match, and now taunting on the corner where Dustin is stood. And here we go then, we are underway. EC3, of course, bringing the rest of these Dynasty stablemates, MJF and Wardlow, to ringside, going up against Jon Moxley. Now, EC3 is alongside Pac, the AEW champion, as the two undefeated members of the AEW roster. That's no mean feat at all. Currently, EC3 sits on +3 with 3 wins, 0 losses. Jon Moxley sits on +4 with 5 wins and 1 loss. So it's going to be a tricky one for both these guys, but this tournament is very, very high quality. The TNT champion is going to be a fantastic champion no matter what. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this tournament goes, to be honest. Of course, as we discussed earlier on, if you've not seen Blood and Guts, I'll give you a last warning to go back and check it out if you want to. Because I will start talking about champions and so forth. I've already mentioned one, obviously. But yeah, at Blood and Guts, we crowned our first hardcore champion. Pentagon Jr. won a 6-man elimination chamber, which involved the likes of Joey Janela, Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, Michael Nakazawa, Dr. Luther, and maybe more, I can't remember. So that was a fantastic match, and yeah, like I say, Pentagon became champion. I feel like that belt's going to get probably defended quite a lot. It won't necessarily be a belt that gets defended a lot of pay-per-views. I think it'll just be normal random shows here and there, you never know. We also crowned our first tag team champions in Best Friends. They defeated Private Party. It was Private Party, wasn't it? No, Hybrid 2, wasn't it? Sorry, yeah. They defeated the Hybrid 2 at Blood and Guts to become the first tag team champions. And of course, we also crowned our first AEW champion. Pac came out on top of the 6-man elimination chamber, which involved the likes of Brody Lee, Matt Hardy, Hangman Page, Lance Archer, and Jon Moxley. EC3 trying his best. I mean, this would be a massive win for EC3. I can say he's already unbeaten. If he was to get a win on this one as well, this would be a huge win. Probably the biggest win he's had so far, because Moxley's one of the main men here in AEW. Moxley just twisting the head over EC3. Mox brings EC3 back up to a standing base. Drags him along up against the ropes, springs him out, but EC3 catches him with that stiff forearm. But vintage Moxley springing out of the ropes with a clothesline into the pin. But referee distracted by MJF, Michael Jacob Friedman. And EC3 taking Moxley down. I think Moxley was looking potentially to try and go paradigm shift there. Moxley swinging the jabs. Carter catches him. Wow, straight into a flatliner out of nowhere. Would that be enough? No, it's only a 1. Wow. Moxley's face hit the mat hard then. I thought that could be the chance that Carter needed. As now Moxley dumped to the outside. Maybe not the wisest move here, because I feel like that might be Moxley's roadhouse. I mean, throwing him to the outside, I think he's just putting him in his environment, really. It's like coming to fight a samurai and taking his machine gun off and giving him a sword. I think it just suits him better. He's dangerous with both, don't get me wrong, but you give him his sword, it's even worse. EC3 dumping Mox to the outside. It's not like EC3 to fly, but he does, and he hits it beautifully. Wow. Somebody's been expanding his repertoire before joining AEW. Moxley taking him down, but once again, the battle on the outside is... Say, what's going to happen here if these two get a double counter? That's going to be an interesting question. I think what we might do is just eliminate them both and maybe make another first round match. That's a possibility. As, oh, we go, EC3 throwing Moxley back into the ring. Doesn't want to risk the count out. Both guys back in now. And EC3 with a big boot across the gut of Moxley, and bringing him back up to his feet. Big clothesline. A second one as well. Ducking one from Mox, then into a jumping clothesline. EC3 is looking incredible here tonight. I tell you, he really is looking at a headbutt by Moxley though. That's rocked EC3 a bit. And straight into that jumping flatliner again. Only a 2 count this time. It looks so effective, doesn't it? Just slamming the face of Moxley into the mat, but the man is incredibly resilient. Sit out powerbomb now by EC3. Really showing incredible ability here tonight. Into the side headlock. Just slowing the pace of the match down. Moxley fighting it back though. It's the paradigm shift. Moxley into the paradigm shift out of nowhere. And it's enough. Wow. EC3 suffers his first loss in AEW. And Jon Moxley continues his incredible form. Out of nowhere, Moxley just popping up with a paradigm shift and getting his way through to the next round. where he'll be facing off against the winner of Hangman Adam Page and Chris Jericho. There's the handshake between these two. Great respect shown between two guys who have worked together previously. Well, have they? Probably not, actually, have they? They've been in the same company, maybe not worked together. Either way. Oh, an offer of a handshake here by Shawn Spears to Dustin. And then Spears just with a cheap shot on Dustin. Wow. Okay, now we said it was weird earlier on, didn't we? That we saw Tully Blanchard at ringside with Cody earlier on. But even more weird now is that we have seen Arn Anderson come out here with Dustin. And Cody and Tully both come out here with Shawn Spears. I think that does just sort of confirm what we suggested, that these two guys have formed somewhat of an alliance here. Of course, Spears interfered in the match at Blood and Guts, which gave Cody the victory over Dustin. And Spears, who is rock solid bottom of the rankings, could do the victory. And he's very quick here against Dustin, really hitting some big maneuvers. Shawn Spears in with a pin, only for a 1 count. But the dominance is showing here. That's belly to belly slam. Dustin is really struggling. That loss to Cody at Blood and Guts really seems to be affecting him. So Shawn Spears needs this win. He is currently joint bottom of the rankings alongside Darby Allin. He would love to get off of that, obviously. Dustin now brings Shawn Spears up, pinging him into the middle of the ring. Into the pin. It's a little optimistic, but hey-ho. Dustin now props Shawn Spears against the rope again and springs him back into the middle again. And a big boot across the chest by Dustin on Shawn Spears. And nice, a black hole slam there by Dustin. All of a sudden he has turned this match around. Sending Spears into the corner. Spears avoids him. Dustin now there takes Spears up into the final cut. Wow. Shawn Spears dominated such an early part of the match, but there's Tully getting in the face and distracting Dustin, which is allowing Spears to recuperate. He's back up, but Dustin still in control. Dustin now taking Spears up, drops him in the high angle backdrop. Spears drops to the outside with Cody. A little bit of word of encouragement. And straight back in goes Shawn Spears with the neck breaker. Now into the belly to belly slam once again. Only a 2 though. Still not quite enough to get the win. Spears now brings Dustin up to his feet into the big gut buster. Now backs off into the corner. Dustin stumbles. On the shoulders, into the Yuri Goroshi. The neck breaker from the Death Valley driver. 1, 2, only a 2. Wow. Dustin's resilience, incredible here. Dustin gets back up to his feet, but Spears fighting back as the boot in the guts. Big right hand, and now into that reverse suplex. And oh, Shawn Spears kicks out just before the 3. Dustin catches with a leg drop. Sending Spears off the ropes, catches him. Oh, Spears catches him with a headbutt and into a big clothesline. And it's still only a 2 count. Spears now stalking Dustin once again. Up on the shoulders once again. Into the front. Death Valley driver hooks the leg and gets the victory. Big, big win here for Shawn Spears against Dustin Rhodes. Shawn Spears picks up his first victory in AEW. He's had 3 losses so far. His first victory, and it was with Cody at ringside. So it'll be interesting to see whether, well, Cody becomes his good luck charm now, I suppose. Where's Dustin? Is he, he's got to be on 0, hasn't he? There he is, Dustin Rhodes, yeah. He was on 0, he's now on -1. And there we go. Really good victory for Shawn Spears. He needed that so much. And it wasn't easy by any stretch, was it? It could have really gone either way for a while. But it was Shawn Spears who was able to come out on top of this one and pick up the victory. Like I said, the effect of Tully and Cody at ringside really seemed to help him out there. So a great win for Shawn Spears. In the main event here of AEW Dynamite, we'll see Spears in action again on Dark later on this week in another very interesting match. We're going to put him up alongside Cody as a tag team for the first time. It's be interesting what happens there. But AEW Dark is going to be massive with that big main event. Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho for the chance to face Moxley in the next round of the TNT Championship Tournament. We're going to see the Revolt in action once again. We're going to see Spears and Cody in action as a tag team for the first time. And Darby Allin, a brand new core of Darby Allin, which I'm very, very happy with. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on as well. But either way, that's the end of tonight's Dynamite. I hope you have enjoyed. Of course, if you have, slap a like. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you at Dark. Bye. That was a weird ending, wasn't it?